What's up out there to my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, welcome back. Y'all know I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. And tonight, well, not tonight, today, we are doing Side Hustle Saturday. All right, so it's been a little while since I did it, but I told y'all I was going to try and get it in this Saturday in the midst of everything I have going on. So we're going to get into it. Today, we're going to be talking about making sure your business is ready for 2025. But before we get into that, let me do my little social media checks and everything. Make sure we are good on all of the social media platforms. Y'all, I'm in such a great mood today. I'm like in a Prince mood, so I'm about to be listening to a whole bunch of Prince songs today. But we're gonna get y'all your business ready for 2025. Who's ready? And I know this is the last quarter of the year, and you still should be doing stuff this quarter to be getting your business ready for that. Okay, so we're good there. And it's still time. A lot of times this last quarter too, you can make a lot of money in your business, especially like with Black Friday and things of that nature, with the holiday push. So don't overlook that. But if you have been struggling in your business or things just did not go as you wanted them to for 2024 and you want to start off 2025 on a better foot, these are some things that you could be putting in place to make sure that you are ready for 2025. Okay. All right. So I have my notes in two places. I have some of my notes on the phone and some of my notes written down. So let me pull everything up so I will be ready. All right. And if you are new to Side Hustle Saturday, if this is your first time joining me, basically, I just give you some business tips to help you with your side hustle. I had a whole bunch of side hustles at one point in time. Now I'm pretty much down to like one side hustle. I still do some notary work from time to time. I don't do it as often as I used to just because I've gotten busy in my regular job. So usually I would come on almost on a more regular basis. So almost every Saturday, giving you updates on my different side hustles for you to try out, as well as side hustle tips. So now I have, as with everything, I love having a little song. So we do have a side hustle song. So I'm going to go ahead and do our side hustle song, and then we're going to go ahead and get into it today. Okay. So it's Side Hustle Saturday, Side Hustle Saturday. Ooh, it's Saturday. Ooh, it's Saturday. It's Side Hustle Saturday. All right, so that is the Side Hustle Saturday song. That's also your welcome to Side Hustle Saturday. So, y'all know I'm Rita the Gold Digger. So before I get into the tips, y'all, I have to always talk about some mindset stuff, because I can give you the tips. I can give you step by step what you need to do, or I can lay out stuff for you to do. But if you don't have the right mindset, if you already do not believe in yourself and believe that you can accomplish stuff, you are not going to be successful. So let's go ahead and clear out some of what I want to say. Oh my gosh. Still rocks. He calls it stinking thinking. Let's clear out some of that stinking thinking so we can have a successful 2025. All right. So one of the things I want to mention to you, a lot of times people who are starting side hustles or you're starting a business, congratulations, especially, or if you are an entrepreneur, business owner, have a side hustle that you have started, congratulations, because that is a big step to take in the first place. It's not easy to go out on your own and start your own business. It's not easy turning your idea or something that you had in your mind and bringing it to fruition and being able to make money off of it. So kudos to you. Congratulations to you. pat yourself on the back for even taking that first step in turning your idea into a product or a service and turning it into an actual business. You are so far ahead of so many people. So many people have so many great ideas, but they are too scared to act upon them. So it never comes to fruition. So you've done it. You've taken those first steps and you have started your side hustle. You have started your business and you are moving in the right direction. Now, even though you have done that, some of us, not all of us, some of us are still we're still scared. We're still timid. We are still operating as employees and not as employers or entrepreneurs. Like we are not operating always as business owners. We still have the mindset and the mentality of an employee, like we're working for someone else. So we're waiting for someone else to tell us to do stuff. We're not taking action. So you got to shift your mindset from being an employee to an employer, or really to an entrepreneur and business owner when it comes to your business, and stop being scared. Now, there is a common phrase that is said, like, do it scared. Like you should do it scared. And I definitely believe in doing it scared because oftentimes, you've never done it before. So yes, you are afraid. And if you just let fear paralyze you, you won't take the steps that you need to. Do it scared. I say do it scared, but you have to sell confidence. And when I say sell confidence, I mean like sell, like you're trying to sell a product. So even though you're scared, nobody should know that you're scared. Okay. Only person that should know that you're scared is you. So some of us are doing it scared and it shows. Like you're showing up timid, you're showing up afraid. And when you're marketing yourself or when you're trying to present your product or your service to the world, we can tell that you are scared and that you are not displaying confidence. So when you do that, that does not allow you to showcase your product or service in the best light. It also does not build confidence in the person that you are trying to sell your product or service to. So even though you're scared, and even though you may be doing it scared, you cannot sell scared. You got to sell confidence. Okay. You got to display confidence in your product or whatever you have in order to make it believable, in order to make it where someone wants to use you or buy from you. So just keep that in mind. Do it scared, but don't act scared, okay? You cannot act scared out in these entrepreneurship streets because you will not always get far. Or if you do get far, you're going to get taken advantage of, pretty much. If people can smell fear, if they can sense fear, if they can sense your lack of confidence, they will take advantage of that, okay? So just be mindful of that. Do it scared, but sell confidence. You always have to come across confident in what you're doing, confident in your product, confident in the service that you're providing. Now, with that, once again, more mindset work. Oftentimes when we're doing it scared, a lot of times you might be showing up scared and timid and stuff like that because you don't have the right mindset. And part of that is not having the right money mindset. And not having a good money mindset, I put that you feel like you are not deserving of the wealth and abundance that are coming your way. So if you are used to someone dictating your salary, hence an employer telling you, hey, we're going to pay you $25 an hour, $30 an hour, or we're going to give you a salary of $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year. If you're used to someone telling you that because you have been an employee pretty much the majority of your life, you may have developed that mindset of, I am not deserving of wealth and abundance, okay? When you are an entrepreneur or business owner, the sky is the limit. You set your income level. You set what you are able to make and what you're able to achieve. So if you don't feel like you are worthy, if you don't feel like you are deserving of making more money because you're so used to someone telling you the best that we can offer you is $30 an hour, then when you're trying to sell your product that is worth $50, you're not going to display that confidence. So you have to shift your money mindset and start believing in yourself and believing that I am deserving of more. I'm deserving of abundance. There is no limit to my income potential. And that's why a while back, a few months back, I did money affirmations. So hopefully you'll create some money affirmations for yourself to help shift your money mindset so that you can start achieving some of the financial goals that you would like for yourself. But it all starts in your mind. You have to shift your mindset. No one is going to pay you what you, or you're not going to be a millionaire or make six figures or whatever if you don't even believe for yourself that you can make six figures. Okay, if you don't even believe that I can become a millionaire, if you're not believing that for yourself, guess what? That shows up when you present your product, that shows up when you present your service. And so you will get stuck and not reach some of these levels if you don't start shifting your money mindset. All right, last mindset thing that we're going to go over, and then we're going to go over the tips that I have for you to have success in your business in 2025, is you also have to just shift your mindset about how you think and what you believe of yourself. Some of you do not have confidence in yourself and you don't trust yourself. And so you might be saying, why should someone trust me when I don't even trust myself? So you don't, and when I say you don't trust yourself, meaning you don't trust yourself to be able to be successful in the business. You don't trust yourself to be able to continue with this business 3 months down the road. You don't trust yourself to be able to continue in the business a year down the road. So that lack of trust you have in yourself, like, I don't even know if I'm going to be committed to this thing a year from now. So why would someone buy this from me? Why would someone want to get this service from me? Because you don't even trust yourself. All right. You don't even believe in yourself. So you like, if I don't even believe, and this is like your subconscious telling you, like, you're not, overtly or talking to yourself and saying that, but deep down inside, you like, I don't even trust myself. I don't even know if I'm going to be continuing with this particular business 6 months later. And because of that, other people may not even trust me, or they shouldn't even trust me to get a product or service from me or spend $50, $100, $200 with me, because I don't even trust myself to be able to manage this business appropriately. So get your mind right, okay? Get your mind right so that you can speak confidently, not only about yourself, but to yourself, so that you can have a successful business. Start believing in yourself. Start believing in the products and the services that you provide. Start believing that I have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. I have what it takes to be a business owner. I have what it takes to keep my business operational. I have what it takes to make my business profitable, and not only just profitable, but enough profits that it can sustain me and sustain my family as well as future generations. Start speaking positively to yourself. Start believing in yourself for the things you want to achieve. Stop having that stinking thinking, that negative mindset that keeps discouraging you from going forward, from achieving goals, from achieving things that are far beyond your imagination that you never thought were possible. But you have to shift your mindset, okay? You have to clear out all that negative junk, all that negative self-talk that you might be telling yourself deep down inside, that you're whispering, like, I'm not going to be successful. I'm not going to make it. Nobody's going to support my business. I knew my family and friends, they weren't going to buy from me. Stop saying that. Stop worrying about that, and start thinking of how you're going to grow your business and how you're going to be successful, and shift your focus from the negative to the positive. Okay. If you are not able to do that, then none of the things that I'm about to list out are going to work out. They might work out in a limited capacity, but they're not going to work out fully, or as abundantly as possible, because you keep being your own downfall. You keep dragging yourself back to what people have said about you, or what people have believed about you, instead of you creating and defining the vision that you have for yourself. Okay. So that is the mindset work I want you to do. Okay. All right. So I've been talking for a minute. Let me see if there's been any comments. Let me check real quick. All right, so no comments, but if y'all have any comments or questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. But let's go ahead and get into the tips so that you can have a successful business side hustle in 2025. And you can start implementing these things right now, okay? Or doing these things right now. Now, there are just a few things that I'm going to go over. So before you enter into 2025, or even as you're preparing to enter into 2025 now, before you do that, what you need to do with your business, or your side hustle, I want you to just reflect on 2024. And by that, I want you to think about what went well in your business for 2024, and make sure you have clear definitions of well, because sometimes we'll tell ourselves that things went well and we ain't make no money. Like, make sure you have defined what well means, what good means, what successful has meant. Like, okay, I sold 10 shirts, so that went really, really well. But did you make money from it? So look at what went well as what went wrong. Okay, so reflect on that for 2024. What happened in 2024 that we did really, really well in the business, and what could we improve upon in the business that occurred in 2024? Okay, so start making sure that you start identifying the things that need to be fixed because they didn't work out so well, as well as the things that you need to keep replicating because they did go so well. So whether it was like a popular t-shirt that you were selling, or hoodie, or I don't know, this particular event you went to that was very, very successful and you were able to like network with people, or the connections you made, look at what went well as what did not pan out, what was a waste of money, what caused you to lose the most money in 2024. And that's where you have to identify what some of your best products and services are. And if you start doing that and you start figuring out what has been the most profitable to me, you can start getting rid of some of these junk services or junk products that you're offering, because you may not even need to offer it, because if only one or two people purchased that from you, or one or two people got this particular service from you, but everybody else is getting this particular product or service, then you probably need to focus on and make sure you have enough inventory, make sure you have enough manpower to provide that best selling product or service, and let some of these other things go. Now, when you do that, if there are certain things that you need to let go, products or services, there are still ways that you can make money on that before you let them go. And we see that happening all the time. And I tell y'all this every time I talk about business, or I talk about marketing strategies, just look at other businesses. So I know sometimes when it comes to our business, we have to sunset certain products, or we have to get rid of certain products or services. And that can be hard to do because you're like, I don't want to get rid of this because it does bring a little bit of money into my business, or it did do this, but it's not the main thing. Make sure you keep the main thing. Okay. So if it's not the main thing, get rid of it. But before you get rid of it, you can make money on it by having what most businesses have is like a closeout sale, or last chance sale, or the final final deal on it, or whatever. So you say, hey, we are about to get rid of this product. We have, I don't know, 50 more in stock or whatever, but this is your last opportunity to get this particular product or service. Or if it's a particular service that you're providing, be like, hey, this is your last opportunity. Sign up with us by the end of 2024 and lock in on this particular service. We discounted it down by 10%, 20%, whatever you decide, or whatever, $20 off. We discounted it down to this particular price. This is your last chance to take advantage of it. Okay. So you can still make a little bit of money off of it, even as you're sunsetting the product or getting rid of the product or service that you're providing. Okay. But analyze, reflect on 2024, see what went right, see what went wrong, see what systems worked out really well, see what systems you need to add to your business that might make it more efficient, what other staff members or what tasks you might need to delegate. Be reflective. You can't just go running into the next year without looking back on the previous year or what has worked. And I am not an athlete by any means necessary, but I am pretty sure, and I'm not a big sports fan either. So I watch sports here and there, but I'm pretty sure it's football season or whatever. I don't know who playing. I know it's college football on Saturdays, and Sundays, NFL. That's about the basics I know, or whatever. But I'm pretty sure any team that is playing today or tomorrow. They have looked at their game day footage from the last game to see what went well and what didn't go well before they enter into that next game, so that they can make some shifts and some pivots so that they don't fall victim to things that might have took them out in the last game. And they're also going to look at what strategies, what plays went really well, so that they can see if they can implement it in the next game as well. So you always need to review. Don't just go running into the next year and even the next quarter, because you should be looking at your business kind of like quarter by quarter and comparing it from, especially if you're just starting a business, it'll be kind of hard, but compare Q1 of 2024 to Q1 of 2023. And as you start building up years in the business, you want to start comparing quarter to quarter and see what worked well in this quarter compared to this quarter, and setting different goals that way. Okay, so reflect on 2024, see what worked, see what didn't work. Now, once you have reflected, I want you to set some goals for 2025. Y'all know I'm the goal digger, so I'm always going to tell y'all to set some kind of goal. Even if you don't achieve the goal, set the goal, okay? Set the goal. You need to have a target that you are aiming for. Otherwise, you're just going to run around aimlessly, okay? If you don't have a destination, you're just going to be kind of like driving in circles. Nobody gets, well, I'm not going to say that. Usually you don't get into your car and just start driving randomly, unless you're just driving to clear your head or something like that. But usually you get in your car and you're going to a specific place. You have a specific destination that you are trying to reach. And that's what you need to have in your business as well. You need to set a goal for what you want to occur in 2025. Don't just go in there willy-nilly and say, hey, I want to make some money, or I'm going to make some money, and be happy that you made 2, 3, 10 sales a month or whatever. Set a goal. Like, how many sales do I want to have a month? How many sales do I want to have a quarter? What is the money goal I want to have at the end of the year? And then also start making your goals even more detailed and sophisticated. Like, how much money would I need to make in order to replace my regular salary if this is your side hustle or something like that? What would it take for me to make this amount in my business consistently? Consistency is the key, because you get a consistent paycheck usually from your job. But what do I have to do to consistently make this amount so that it will supplement my income, or possibly put me in the position that I can leave my full-time job, if that is your goal, okay? So you have to set some goals for 2025 so you will at least know where you're going. And that's why I say you don't always have to hit the goal, but you at least need to know what direction you are moving towards. At least have a certain direction, a certain target that you are aiming for. Just like if you are like shooting a gun or something like that, and you have the little targets and stuff like that, you're not going to hit the center of that target every time, but that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming for the center of that target. Whether or not you hit it every time, that's okay. Sometimes you might be a little bit outside on the little outside ring, and then you keep getting closer and closer and closer. But if you don't have something that you are aiming towards or pointing towards or whatever, then you'll just be walking around aimlessly. Now, the other thing I want you to do for 2025 is make sure you have a marketing calendar, and you can break it down by, okay, this is what we're doing for January, for each month, January, February, March. You can break it down by quarter. This is what we're doing for Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Whatever it is, make sure you have a marketing strategy. What specific marketing techniques are you going to do, either on a month-to-month basis or a quarter-to-quarter basis for your business, okay? So setting that marketing calendar up now in this last quarter of the year is definitely helpful, so you're not in the midst of the month trying to figure out, what am I going to do in terms of marketing for this particular month, or what am I going to do for marketing for this particular quarter, okay? All right, so that is what I have for you so far, and then I got 10 more tips that we're going to breeze through really, really quickly. So that, what we just went over is just the basic foundation, okay? These are just basic foundational things. Now we're going to get into some more specific tips. All right, what's up? I see Still Rocks. He commented, I was just referencing you when I was talking about mindset, and you had said about stinking thinking at one time. And then he says, we in here. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's breeze through these 10 things that we are going to do in our side hustle or in our business to help make it successful for 2025. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to say is know your niche. And by that, I mean, know your product and know your service, okay, that you're offering and know what you're selling. And you might be saying to me, now I have it listed as number one because this is the important thing. And you might be like, well, duh, that's easy. I already know what I'm selling. I'm selling t-shirts, or I'm selling candles, or I'm selling, like I do notary work, or I'm selling I provide notary service. Like, duh, that's easy. I know what service or product I'm providing. No, I don't mean like that. If you are selling a t-shirt, you're not just selling a t-shirt. What is the meaning behind your t-shirt? What experience do you want someone to have when they wear your t-shirt? How do you want them to feel? What do you want them to experience? If you're selling candles, you're selling a feeling. Are you selling relaxation? Are you selling romanticism? That kind of thing. You want to create a romantic evening with your candles. You want to create relaxation with your candles. What are you selling? The candle is just the product. The t-shirt is just the product. But what experience are you trying to create for whoever is buying your product or your service so that they'll want to keep coming back again and again and again, okay? Yes, your candle might smell good. And yes, they like the way that it smells, but because they like the way it smells, it goes beyond that. When they smell that good scent, it makes their house feel like it's clean. It makes their house feel like it's refreshing. It makes them want to invite people over. You are selling that experience to the person. So if you don't really realize what you're selling, if you're like, well, I just sell t-shirts. No, I sell t-shirts that feel luxurious, that make you feel beautiful, even though you're in a t-shirt and stuff like that. Or if you have a t-shirt that has positive sayings on it and it makes other people who are reading it have a good experience and stuff like that, you're selling more than just a t-shirt. You're selling more than just a candle. So you have to know what you're selling, because when you know what you're selling, that helps you with your marketing. Okay. These are, that's how when like McDonald's creates their commercials. I'm loving it. That's one of their slogans and stuff like that. They're not just selling some burgers and fries. They're selling a whole experience. They want you to love them. They want you to love coming there so you can keep coming back again and again. They are selling an experience, and you need to realize what is your product or service. What is the experience that it is creating that makes people want to come back and spend money with you, okay? And it goes beyond just a t-shirt or a hat or whatever it is, a wreath and stuff like that. What experience are you selling so that you can create that for your consumer, for your customer, so that they'll come and buy with you, all right? So that was number one. Number two is know your audience. So if going back to like the candle or the t-shirt, the candle, you want to create that clean, smelling, refreshing experience for a home and stuff like that, then your audience is probably going to lean more towards females. Not saying that males don't buy candles and stuff like that. Males do buy candles, but if it's a nice, fresh, relaxing scent, most men are not getting candles for them to relax, so to speak. So if that's the thing that you are trying to sell, your audience is probably going to be a more female-based audience, maybe a working mom who doesn't have a lot of time to herself, who's running around with the kids, and every now and then she wants to create these quiet moments to herself where she can just feel like she relaxes. So that's why knowing what you're selling and knowing the experience that you sell helps you to tap into your target audience so that you can be marketing to them effectively. Like I said, and that's not to say that men won't buy your candles, but when you market to men about buying your candles, you're probably not just going to say, hey, buy this. Well, I would suggest you don't just say, hey, buy this candle. It smells so good. It'll have your home smelling really, really nice. Don't come at it from that angle. Say, hey, do you have a girlfriend or wife? You buy this candle. Once you light it up, she's going to feel so relaxed and everything. And she's going to want to just chill out and create a nice vibe in your home. You're still, even though you're selling it to a man, you have to play it up for him to want to buy it for that significant woman that is in his life or whatever. Because he ain't buying no candle. Typically, like I said, typically he's not buying the candle just because it smells fresh and it causes him to relax. Us women are a little bit different, okay? So you got to know your audience, know your product, so that you can market it to your audience and switch up your sales script so that you are selling appropriately to whoever is in front of you. Okay, so that was number 2. Now, as a business owner, entrepreneur, number 3 is you need to network. I always say collaboration over competition. I am not in competition with anybody because I can't compete to be me. I mean, it takes a lot to be me, and nobody can do it better than I can. So when it comes to your business, network and collaborate. See what other business owners are doing who are in a similar field as you, as well as people that are not in a similar field, and see what marketing strategies work for them or what has worked for them. See what you can learn from them, but don't be afraid to network and collaborate with other people, because you'll be surprised about the things that you will learn and about the ways that you can grow and develop just from networking. So don't keep yourself in a box. Don't be like, oh, well, they sell the same product as I do, so I can't talk to them or whatever because they my competition. No, I mean, for times where you might not be available to provide something to them, you're like, hey, hit up my girl, hit up my man over here. He has a similar product. I don't have it right now. I'm out of stock, but he might be able to help you, or she might be able to help you. That's what I do all the time, especially in my notary business. So it's like, hit up this person. I don't care. What God has for me is for me. So my blessings are going to come regardless. Nobody can stop them from happening. And that's what you have to look at when it comes to your business. Okay. What's for you is going to be for you, and just collaborate and network and figure out how you can help other people, because those other people can help you. Now, the 4th thing I have, which I'm working on myself, is try to automate things in your business as much as possible. Now, this can be, well, I won't say tricky. Depending on the type of business, it can be more tricky and stuff like that. But see what you can automate. See what you can also delegate. I didn't have that on there, but also delegate. But definitely automation is your friend. And the more you can, see how you can incorporate it in your business, especially with AI and all that kind of stuff. See what you can do to make life easier for yourself. Now, also what you want to do, especially if you're starting out in business or if you're introducing a new product or a new service, you want to get feedback from your customers. So if there's something new you're testing out, just ask for, like, I won't even say a customer review, but just what people think about the product. So you can see, is it going to be a hit, or is it something that I need to work on, or is it something that I need to fine tune? Or even one of your former, or I won't say former, but current customers, if they are really enjoying your product or service, ask them and say, hey, thank you so much for buying from me. I see you made several purchases. What is it about my product that keeps having you come back? What do you enjoy? What do you love? Get that feedback, more so for your knowledge, so that you can keep replicating that and duplicating that, so that you can attract more people. Also, depending on what they say, that those are the words and messages that you can use in your marketing, because you're hearing it directly from a customer. Sometimes with us being the business owner, the entrepreneur, yes, we have these big ideas, but how we articulate them, you have to make sure you're articulating them in the same language that your customer is speaking. And sometimes we may not always do that. So getting that direct feedback from the customer, hearing it from their own mouth, helps us create that messaging that we may need for when we market. So that's getting feedback. Now, that is different from getting reviews, which is the next thing, the 6th thing. Make sure you are getting reviews so that you will have some kind of customer testimonial, as well as like social proof, like, hey, this product is good, this product is awesome, or the service is wonderful, this particular company is, so professional. So that's what the reviews are for. Feedback is when you want, the good, bad, and the ugly. The reviews is when you just want the good and the glowing stuff. Okay. So there's a difference from feedback and reviews. So just keep that in mind when you're doing that stuff in 2025. Know the difference between feedback and reviews, and have tough skin to hear negative feedback. Like, I always tell my staff and stuff, and I've told y'all here on here before, like I love getting feedback, whether it's good or bad. Especially, I won't say I especially enjoy the bad, but I don't mind when I get the bad, and I'm actually very thankful and grateful when someone tells me something bad that we are doing, because that person was brave enough to speak up about something that was happening. And if they were brave enough to speak up, it probably happened to someone else that wasn't brave enough to speak up. It might have just walked away from, said, well, I'm not coming back here, because they just didn't want to, cause a scene or, say something negative or whatever. So I'm so thankful for the people who give me negative feedback so that I can see, oh, okay, thank you so much for that. Let me work on this so that I can improve. I don't take it personally. I don't I'm not very like I have thick skin. Like I said, ain't a whole lot you can say to me that's really gonna bother me. Especially if it's true. And part of that is being self-aware. Like I know some of my faults and stuff like that. Friends and family will say what some of my faults are. And so I don't get upset about it, because I know that is true. It is accurate. Okay. So I can't get upset about the truth if it's the truth or whatever. All I can do is try and find ways to work on it and make it better for myself. So welcome feedback. But also make sure you're getting reviews, but know the difference between feedback and reviews. Okay. And I see we got a couple of comments. Still Rock says, paint the picture. I'm not sure what that was in reference to, because I see I'm late on the comments, but thank you, Still Rocks. And April, what's up, April? She says, hello, all. I'm glad you could join. And Still Rocks was telling her hello. Oh, thank you, Still Rocks. He says, we got a masterclass going today. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. Y'all know I want y'all to be successful in whatever y'all put your hands to. We all can win in business. All right. So let's see how I'm looking on time. All right, y'all. Last week on Tipsy Tuesday, I told y'all I'm trying not to make these things go out to an hour, trying to keep them from 30 to 45 minutes. So we're going to try and skate in right under 45 minutes. Okay. So the seventh thing I have down is to be a lifelong learner. Y'all know I'm big on that. Always see what can you learn in your business? How can you grow? How can you improve? What new knowledge can you get about your business, about different ways? If you're making a product or something like that, how is the process more efficient? What can you incorporate? What is the new trend? What are people leaning towards? Just always be a lifelong learner in your business, as well as when it comes to like marketing strategies. Don't think that you know all that you know. And I believe this in my main business, as having my own office and stuff like that. There's always something new that I can learn. Even though I've been in business for a very long time, I still don't know everything. There's plenty of stuff that I still need to learn and know. And I will say this. Some people think because they don't know everything, they're not ready to take that next step, or they shouldn't be charging certain things. Now, keep in mind, if you don't, depending on what you're providing or what service or product or whatever, if you're not on that level, then don't charge at that level. But don't underestimate the knowledge that you might already have. Okay. You're not going to know everything. None of us knows everything. Okay. You're always going to find some kind of way or be able to learn a little bit more about something that you didn't know, but just don't let not knowing keep you from going forward in your business or taking the next step. If anything, it should encourage you and propel you like, hey, that is really cool. That is really interesting. Let me learn more about that so I can be a better service to my actual client or customer. So I welcome learning. I don't, me being ignorant about something, it doesn't bother me, because I want to learn. Something that should bother you is if you don't know something and you're not willing to learn about it, especially if it can benefit your business. So if you're like, well, I don't know about that and I'm not trying to know it, then that keeps you stuck and stagnant. But if you know you don't know and you're willing to learn about it, then that helps propel you forward. So be a lifelong learner. Now, the eighth thing I have is know your profit margins. And what I mean by that is sometimes we are making money in the business, and this is quite common, or I should say, I have experienced this in the notary business. People think, and I know I probably use the notary as an example a lot when I have these discussions. People think, oh, I made $40 and it only took me 15 minutes to do it. And they feel like they're winning, and maybe they are. But $40 and you traveled, I don't know, I'll do it even on the small side. And you travel, it took you 15 minutes to get there, 15 minutes to do it, 15 minutes to get back, and you feel like you're winning because you made $40 and it only took you 15 minutes to do it. So with that kind of mindset, you are still focused on trading time for dollars, which is what they taught you as an employee, is that you trade your time for dollars. Like you get paid a certain amount an hour, or you come in and you work 40 hours a week and this is your salary. If you work overtime, you might get a little bit more, or you might get bonus, that kind of thing. You have to stop looking at things that way and count all the costs. So not only is your time factored in, your and when I say time, the time that it took you to do it, as well as the travel time in this notary example, as well as wear and tear on your car going back and forth, as well as the risk of you actually notarizing the document correctly. So if something happened and you didn't do it correctly, if you had to go back out there, do you have that all factored in so that you are actually profitable and making money? If you had to print something out, what is the cost of that? Your cost of the paper, the cost of the ink, the wear and tear on your actual printer, computer, all that kind of stuff. The time it took you to confirm the appointment when they reached out to you and they talked to you for 10 minutes explaining what they needed and all this kind of stuff. And then they called you 2 more times because something else came up and spent another 10 minutes explaining all this stuff. So it's like, oh, I made $40 and it only took me 15 minutes, when in actuality, the time and the mental capacity that you spent was like an hour and a half. And that's not considering the physical stuff and wear and tear and stuff like that. So just be mindful of that when it comes to your profit margins, because if you're not counting all the costs, and this is whether you have a product too. So you might say, oh, this t-shirt only cost me, and I see this too with the crafting stuff as well. So this material only cost me $15. So now I'm going to sell it for $40. And I do get, in certain crafting stuff, there is a limit because people are not going to pay as much money for stuff, especially when it's mass produced and sold in stores or whatever. So the material cost me $15. I sell it for $40, but it took you 2 hours to make it. Like, are we really making money? Is this really profitable? So count all the costs and make sure that you actually do have a healthy profit margin and are not just breaking even. Okay. Breaking even is not a profit. Profit means you have extra. Like it's above the expenses. That's what profit means. When you paid all your expenses, what is left for you to take home? That is the profit, okay? So we can't be breaking even on stuff. You want to count all the costs and knowing your profit margins. So if you have a t-shirt business, you need to know down, like it. Well, I'll use this example. If y'all have ever watched Shark Tank, and when they go in on them people and they want to know, well, what's the cost of the product? How much does it cost for you to package? What is your marketing expenses and all this kind of stuff? Well, what's the unit cost? And then what profits are you making? So look at Shark Tank. That's a good example of how to run your business when they listen to the questions that they're asking, so that you can start asking these questions of you and your business so that you can make sure you're running your business appropriately. All right. Number 9 I have is the manage your time. And by that kind of goes back into what I was mentioning about the profit margins. Sometimes what we think it will take this amount of time to do, or we say it took only 15 minutes to complete, like for a notary assignment, it only took 15 minutes. But in reality, we have to delegate probably like an hour because we got to get there, get back. And then if we have another appointment that we need to get to, we need to give ourselves a little cushion to get to that appointment or whatever. So make sure you are managing your time appropriately, whether you're creating a product too, like if it takes you 30 minutes to make this particular design or something like that, and then you're selling the product, just be mindful of that so that you can manage your time well. If you're spending time going to like trade shows or different marketing events or vendor events, pop-ups and things of that nature, make sure it is worth your time and you're managing your time. I talked about it when I went to InvestFest, when I went to the food truck festival. These people are spending their time having vendor booths, setting up their food trucks, and they're not all, well, some of the people were not even engaging with the consumers and the people who are coming through. Like, that's not a good use of your time. You're not just there to show up and be like, oh, well, whoever gonna see me, and if they want it, they're gonna get it. Like, interact with the people, make sure you're using your time wisely. And it's not like the Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. It's not like that. It don't work like that, okay? That was in a movie. This is real life. So just know, manage your time well. And if you're spending a good deal of your time doing something, make sure you're using it as efficiently as possible, excuse me. And the last thing, because I see I am just cutting it close, is self-care. Y'all, we forget to take care of ourselves, because when you're trying to run a business, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. I can speak firsthand. It is so much. It can be overwhelming. I ain't even gonna say a lot of the times. Majority of the time, it can be very overwhelming. So make sure you are taking time out to take care of yourself. Make sure you are taking time out to take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, all of that, so that you can be the best version of you to be able to run this business. So don't neglect the self-care. Yes, there are going to be times where you are just grinding it out, okay? But also, when you're setting those goals and stuff like that, factor in some time where you can do some self-care, okay? All right, so those were the 10 tips, as well as the other mindset stuff, as well as the other foundational stuff that I mentioned. I'm not going to go back and review just because I want to keep to my time limit as close as possible. I see, if y'all have any other comments or questions, put it in there. I just see one comment so far from Still Rocks, but if you have anything else, put it in before I hop off. Still Rocks says, yeah, when you are selling products, you have to paint the picture of them using the product and how it can improve their lives. Oh, okay, thank you for the clarification. Yes, so yeah, that was the first tip of knowing what you're selling, knowing your niche. You are selling an experience, not just a product or service, and you want to paint that picture for your ideal consumer, okay? So yeah, but this has been Side Hustle Saturday. I hope it has been helpful to you. Always forget, if you enjoy the content, make sure you like, share. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, be sure to subscribe. And I will be back on Tuesday with Tipsy Tuesday. I don't know. Ooh, I do know what I'm talking about. Well, I have a good idea what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to say it on Tuesday. So be sure to tune in on Tuesday at 10 p.m. Same time. Well, not same time. Same place, YouTube or Facebook. All right. But I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, guys.